And we are live, back with another live stream. Today, November 4th, 2020. And in today's live stream, I'll be talking about October 2020 YouTube Analytics. I'll be answering any questions that you all may have. And then I also have some questions lined up, 4 questions total. And then just hang out. So I'm excited because these live streams are not only getting a little bit easier, just me talking to myself. That's what it feels like sometimes. Though they're also getting better. Slowly but surely getting better. I'm getting better on camera. I'm getting better with my live streams. I feel like I'm taking necessary pauses, and I'm not like So stuttering less for sure, and it just comes with practice. So I'm excited. What's going on, Zach and Chris? Thanks for coming, my guys. And if you're just tuning in, as I just mentioned, it's always a little weird at first because the first couple minutes as you're waiting for the live stream to not start, but as you're waiting for people to come in, and you're like, okay, what do I talk about for the first 5 minutes without repeating myself? Because people are going to catch the playback, so you still want to be engaging the first 5 minutes. But then I just said what I was going to talk about, but then 5 minutes later, I'm re-saying what I'm going to talk about. So it's always like this little weird, I don't know, of like, okay, what do I say in the first 5 minutes? But it usually works out because there's a few people, and as more people come in, I get to say hello. They'll usually ask, how's your day? And then I'll talk about my day, and then that usually lasts 10 to 15 minutes because I can just go on and on talking about my day. So, Aaron, good to see you. Hit me up with the AD. You can talk about the books you've just read / listen to. What's AD? That's not coming to my head as you say AD. But in terms of the recent books that I've read and listened to, I'm not sure if it's a good or bad thing, but I like to reread or re-listen to the same books over and over. I feel like it's, like why... If I already know it's a good book and it changed my life the first time or second time, why wouldn't I just reread that same book? Because likely it's going to change my life, or it's going to have a positive impact in a different way this time. So I really like to read, like books 2 or 3 times. For example, I am currently listening to The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone again. I've actually listened to it 2 times in the past. But that book, it's very, very simple. I mean, the key, to get the message of the book, you just have to, read the first chapter. What's the 10X rule? Well, you have to do 10 times more work than you think you need to do in order to, produce the results that you want to see. So, but I like going through that whole book because it just drills it and drills it and drills it into your head of why it's important. And that book really changed my life when I first listened to it a few years ago. And that book also played a role into how I view a lot of things, right? Obviously, if you've been following my channel even for a little bit, you'll hear me say, if you want to go get it, how do you run 100 miles? 1 foot in front of the other. Like, if you want to go get it. And that's my attitude for it. And if I don't get it, and this is my personal opinion, if I don't get the results that I want, it's because I didn't work hard enough, or I didn't work smart enough, or I wasn't good enough. And I take that, what factors can you control in terms of getting after your goals? Well, you can control how hard you work, how many hours you put in. Being adaptable, that's a little bit harder, but you still can control that. But that's why I'm re-listening to that book again. And hit me with @ oh, okay. I thought you, for some reason, I was thinking it was an acronym, AD. I was like, what's AD? Anthony Davis. Hit me with that. I don't know if hit me with that Anthony Davis makes a lot of sense. But ad, that makes sense. Like advertisement, duh. I was like, what's this new saying? That's funny. You can talk about the books. Okay, wait. So I already read that. I'm working on the Pit of Doom in my office, working on the video editing tonight, hoping to sneak the late night workout. Vince, yeah, Aaron, I'm excited for the videos. I mean, each video that you come out with, it's always really, really good. I'm like, yeah, that's right. So I find myself nodding to your videos as I'm watching them. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Or that's a really good way to put it. And I've never knew how to formulate certain things. But it's oh, what he's saying makes sense. And then as I move forward, when someone asks me to describe, certain exercise things, I'm like, you're playing in my head a little bit of how I should communicate that to them. So you do have that effect. Working in, not on. Vincey, Jess, good to see you, Jess. It's good one of the read annually. Lots of simple truth. Yep. Thanks for putting the fire under me, cracking up the next video, Jess. Yes, my friend. Yeah, so, and just getting back to the books, what other books or audiobooks am I listening to or reading? I'm reading right now, I'm reading The One Thing as well. I've read that book 2 or 3 times, but it's always, it's so simple, but it's the fact that it's so simple is, I mean, I like simple books, but the important thing for me is, okay, if you can absorb just one aspect from that book or one line from that book that can change your life, that's all I could ask for. I mean, the more the merrier, but when I'm reading a book, if I can take one solid thing away from that book or just to reignite that fire in me, then that book did its job. And so I'm reading The One Thing. I'm almost done with that book. I've just been reading 1 chapter a day. Some of the chapters are really, really short, but some of the chapters are, most of them are really short. So other than that, I'm also reading this book right here, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. This is written by Gary Keller, and then also he wrote The One Thing as well. And I actually knew Gary Keller as an author before a real estate agent, but he is the CEO and founder of Keller Williams Realty, which is the company that I work for. So I thought it'd be a good idea to read this book because in a lot of the talks that we have or the meetings that we have, they're always referencing this book, like the MREA, that's what they call it, the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, the MREA. So they go, yeah, it's in the MREA, it's in the MREA. So I'm like, okay, I should probably pick up this book. So I'm reading that. And then next on the list is Shift, which is up there. It's also a Gary Keller book. Figure it's probably a good idea to read the books that my CEO wrote. So I'm reading those books because a lot of the philosophy of how they conduct business in Keller Williams obviously has a lot of guidance, or it all comes from it all. A lot of it comes from Gary Keller, obviously. So I figure start reading those books, and it'll be a good start to help aid in my real estate journey. In terms of other books that I've recently read, let me see. I'm gonna put I've been really obsessed with audiobooks lately, just because I'm a slow reader, but audiobooks it's faster if someone reads it to me and I just listen, but I can listen to them on my runs. So I'm doing a little, exercising and consuming knowledge at the same time. Forgot who said it, but I think it was Robert Kiyosaki or Jim Rohn was, become a learning machine. And then as you're driving, that's a perfect opportunity to put on an audiobook, because music's cool, but if you can learn something as you're driving through traffic, that's even better. So I've kind of took it that with exercise though, because I'm not driving that often with the whole shelter in place of COVID thing. But, when I'm running outside for an hour or 2 hours, it's just good to put on an audiobook. I'll put on an audiobook. It's not the whole run, but I'll put on an audiobook for, 30 minutes to an hour, and I feel, I learned something. Okay, now to kick it up a notch and put on some EDM or some K-pop just so that I can run a little bit faster to pump me up. So in getting back to the audiobooks, because I've been going on a bunch of tangents. Currently listening to the 10X Rule. At night before I go to bed, I like to listen to Jim Rohn speeches. And if you don't know who Jim Rohn is, Jimrhon. He is he's no longer alive, though he is one of the original. I would go so far as to say one of the original pioneers of self-development, and he is the or modern day self-development. He's one of the pioneers for modern day self-development. Jim Rohn is the mentor of Anthony Robbins. So if you've ever heard of Anthony Robbins or Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn was his mentor. So Jim Rohn has had a large impact on my life. His speeches are life-changing, game-changing. They're also very simple, but there's just something about the way he speaks. Some people don't like the way he speaks as well, but for me, I like, because it's his intonation and how he speaks. I can see why people don't like his style, but I personally love his style, and I like to listen to him right before bed. So I'll usually put an earphone in so that I'm not bothering my girlfriend. I'll put my earphone in, and then I'll listen to Jim Rohn, and then I'm falling asleep. And then when I'm half asleep, I will unplug the earphone or my earpod, and then put it in the case, and then go to sleep. So I feel like Jim Rohn is, slowly integrating into my mind. That's the way that I like to think about it. So I love Jim Rohn. And besides that, I recently also listened to and this is for the second time, Living with the Seal by Jesse Itzler. That was a good book the first time around, so I had to go second time. Also, other audiobooks that I've listened to in the most recently, Ultra Marathon Man by Dean Karnazes. That was a really good book. I really enjoyed that book, and I've been a fan of Dean since I've started ultra running in the past year. Though it's just cool to get to know him a little bit more in that book. It's basically just like a memoir, of his ultra marathon journey. And Dean Karnazes is one of the original ultra marathoners in the past 20 years. And then before that, Digital Minimalism by Cal Newport, which I'm not doing a very good job of because I'm on my phone all the time, but it's hard to disconnect, when my job now is to communicate with people. I am a professional communicator as a real estate agent, so it's a little bit tough, but, I've been trying to put my phone down less. Other than that, Kevin Hart, I Can't Make This Up. That was a really good book. And yeah, that was all those books were in the past year, in the past 12 months. So that's what I like to read if you're curious about what I like to listen to and what I like to read. And if you are just joining me, number one, if you can do me a favor and hit that like button, it'd really help me out just so that we can keep growing this channel, keep spreading the knowledge. And also, if you're just joining me or catching the replay, today's topic of discussion, I will be sharing my October 2020 analytics, my YouTube analytics in particular. I'll actually be going over September and October just to give you a comparison of what that looks like, my point of view on, how I've grown, what maybe I need to implement, and just a game plan moving forward. Because October was a really good month for me, to be honest, in terms of YouTube analytics. And then after that, before that, I'm going to share my analytics, answer any questions that all come up that you may ask, and then I also have 4 questions that I have lined up as well. And then after that, interact a little bit more, and then call it a day. And that's what I've been doing with my live streams as of late. So with that being said, I'll check the chat box, and then I'll get into the analytics. All right. So thanks, Vince. Okay. Appreciate the kind words, pal. Definitely. That one's pretty good too. I had someone recommend it to me. I need to read that. I keep hearing about it. What's up, everyone? Roster Runs, good to see you. Ultra Trail Steven, good to see you. There's no music that excites me more anymore, so I love audiobooks and podcasts. Yeah. There's just something about a good audiobook. And, you know, while I'm here talking about audiobooks and books, I've also, like, through my self-development journey, I've read a lot of books. I've read a few books all the way through that I didn't find, I don't know, they were just okay books. But nowadays, if I listen to an audiobook and I'm about 25, I'll give it a good shot, like 25%. If it's not good, same thing with a book. If I read the first couple chapters and it's not a good book or I'm not like enticed, I will put the book down. Because a couple years ago, I learned there's no rules to reading books. So if it's a bad book, doesn't mean you have to read it or listen to it. And you've already supported the publishing company and the author, especially, by buying the book or buying the audiobook. So, I mean, at that point, like if you're not enjoying it, why finish it? There should be no guilt of not finishing a book. EDM's, yeah, I love, there's just something about also good EDM song. Like it just like pumps you up. And usually when I run, I like to run to the beat of the music. Love getting an audiobook routine this year. Yeah. The Alchemist. Yeah, Chris recently did listen to The Alchemist was a good, I've read that book 2 to 3 times. Yeah, that was a really good book. All right. Move with Jen. Hello, Jen. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. It's a party. There's 11 people here. And I actually really like doing these YouTube analytics ones because I know my crowd or my audience is largely small YouTubers, i.e. everyone in the chat right now. All right. I wish Goggins read his own book. Yeah, I wish that too, Jess, with Can't Hurt Me. Like that audiobook is so cool because he's giving, you know, like a podcast style interview, and it was really good. That's exactly what I was thinking. There's some authors, I really like them reading their own book. Like Grant Cardone, when he reads his own book, it's like you're fired up. Like Sell or Be Sold is really good, and the 10x rule is really good because he goes off script from time to time too. So it's cool. It's not just him reading, but it's you know, it's because he wrote it too, so he knows exactly how he wants to put it out. And then also Simon Sinek is a really good reader of his own books. I love Simon Sinek's work as well. Just got a library card last week. Cool. All right. I read books with pictures and that pops up. 7 subs goes so until I can live stream. Yeah, for all of those who are not subscribed to Jess Kaplan, please do me a favor and do so. She is an awesome YouTuber, fitness. She does reviews. She has hauls, like clothing hauls. And she has a really cool channel, and she's a super positive person. And she only needs 7 more subscribers until she hits 1,000. So please, if you're not subscribed to her, please go subscribe to Jess. And I'll also put her channel in the description afterwards as well. So Vince is so cutthroat, puts down a half-read book. Yeah, I mean, I just find that like I don't know, if I'm not like really like nowadays, time is very important to me, and if I'm not enjoying things, and this is how I approach exercise. Caveat of exercise, like for me, that's why I'm a go by feel, enjoying type of person when it comes to exercise. But I with running, I don't really like running that much, but I like the running for the mental benefits. So it's kind of a little bit of everything that goes into it. But nowadays, if I'm not enjoying something, like it's like food. Like if you're not enjoying the food, like you don't have to eat it. Right, especially if you cooked it at home. It may be a different story if someone cooked it and you're at their house. Maybe a different story because you want to be polite. But nowadays, if I don't like it, I'm not gonna eat it. Or it's not the same. But when you're eating food, and you have a little bit left over and you're like, oh, I got to finish it. Or like, because you feel guilty about throwing it away. Like, nah, you don't need to feel guilty about throwing it away. Like, you paid for it, you made it, or whatever. Like, if anything, that's going to be more calories for me. And why would I want to go through that of feeling super full, being uncomfortable? It's more calories, and I'm already full. So why, like, I don't, yeah. So that's just my mindset on it, though. Have to head out. Thanks, Fitz, for coming. Do you ever listen to music for cadence, like 180 beats and things like that? I don't listen to music for cadence. I actually need to measure my cadence. I told Ultra Shell Steven I was going to do that, but I never ended up doing that. But I definitely should measure my cadence. But the good news is that the pain in my right knee has pretty much gone away. So it's there from time to time. Maybe after a long run, it'll be a little bit sore. But for the past couple of days, I've been totally fine. How many subs do you need to live stream? So to live stream, you don't need a minimum amount of subs, but to live stream on your phone, you need a minimum of 1,000 subscribers. And I believe Jess shoots all of her videos through her phone. So that's why it's more important for her to hit that 1K mark so that she can, stream off her phone. All right. Okay, let me get through this chat, and then we'll get into the meat of this, into the main topic. All right. Cool. Hatch Life, good to see you. I only 800 more subscribers, so close. Hatch Life, and I'm going to give the same speech. If you haven't already subscribed to Hatch Life, he's only 800 subscribers away from 1K, so he can live stream off his phone. So his and her, I believe Hatch Life is a dual. So, but I believe it's Mitch who handles the commenting on my videos, because you all say, hey man. So I'm guessing it's you, Mitch, and not your girlfriend and or wife. Just sub to Jess. Cool. Fits. Thank you. Now she needs 6 more. 6 more subs. Welcome, Pet. Welcome, I am Pet Man. Wonder Pet, good to see you. You always ask the best questions, Wonder Pet. I love it when you're on my live streams, because you keep the live stream alive because you ask good questions. Thank you, Aaron. All right, cool. So, okay, apparently Wesley from Maximize Your Life found a hack to live stream off your phone. Yes, Wesley from Maximize Your Life does have a hack. I watched the video, though I wasn't fully paying attention because sorry, Wesley, if you're listening to this as well, but because I was already at over 1K and I didn't need to hack my phone to do the live stream. So, but I did comment on that video and support you and watched it in full. All right, cool. With that being said, let's get into the October 2020 analytics. And I'll actually share my September 2020 analytics first, just so that we can have a comparison. Just so that we can have a comparison of what that looks like. So, in terms of my views, so September, granted, also keep in mind September had 30 days, October had 31, so it's 1 day difference, but so that might add a little bit to October. But 12.K7 views, 831.8 watch hours, and then subscribers was 79 subscribers in the month of September. Also in the month of September, I was not yet monetized, so I wasn't making any money. And then in terms of reach, September as well, 142,000 impressions, 6% click-through rate, unique views, 7.9%. Perfect. And then in terms of my top videos, Garmin Forerunner 235, advice to BJJ white belts from all belt levels, is the Fitbit Ionic worth it? And I believe these are the same in October as well. So moving on to the October analytics, and as you can see in the top right here, it was September. I already pulled these tabs up beforehand so that it wouldn't take a little bit of time to load. So October. So with this in mind, October, my YouTube analytics, I was monetized on October 22nd. I believe that was my first day of being monetized. And then, so that had a lot of effect in terms of my views on my videos, for better or for worse. So it's not necessarily, I don't know, it's been a half and half for me, and I'll get into why it's been a little bit of half and half, because it's pushed out my good videos, but with my normal-ish videos, like my Q&As and my like even my real estate type videos, it's not YouTube isn't pushing those videos out, so I'm getting less views, or it's also because people aren't wanting to watch my videos now that they have ads, or like, they just skip out of it, so it's too big of a fuss, right? So it's a double-edged sword, but I have seen YouTube push out more of my videos that are the good ones, mainly my top 10 videos. I've seen a lot more views, a lot more activity on those videos. All right, so the month of September, we'll just go through the basic analytics first. So the month of October, views 17.4 thousand, watch time 1.1 thousand, subscribers 107, and then my estimated revenue, I made a whopping $14.78 estimated revenue for the 7 to 8 days that I was monetized. And in terms of reach, 179.2 thousand. Impressions rate 6.7%. Unique views 12,000. So actually, I want to put these side to side, because I know my September click-through rate was 6%. And then, so it's been up 6.7, and that could be due to a few different things. I actually, if you've noticed, in the past like 10 days or so, 7 to 10 days, I've been trying to up my thumbnail game. Now, what I did before was, usually I was just being super lazy, and I was like, I don't really want to spend a lot of time on thumbnails, but I've like, okay, I'll spend 10 minutes on a thumbnail. Like, that's not that bad. So before, I was just taking a picture and then putting it, so I would take a picture, put it in Lightroom, edit the contrast and the colors and stuff like that, put it into Canva, and then just put like a title on it, and that's it. And by title on it, I just mean like words, and then it'll have like a backdrop of like a color, like usually it's like red, and it'll say like the title of the video, right? So that's what I've been doing. Super lazy, but if you've noticed, actually I can show you how that looks. So my thumbnails, so I guess I've been doing it since October 22nd. Once I got monetized, once I got monetized, I was like, all right, I gotta step up my thumbnail game. I can't be having some sucky thumbnails, because look at my thumbnails before, like super simple, like runner's knee, and I mean it's not bad. I mean it's not bad, but it's definitely not. You can tell that I didn't put a lot of time into it. And like, look at this one, like first time using my new drone. Lame. I don't know. I feel like my thumbnails are lame. And I was actually looking, I was speaking to Christy from Twins Try, and I was just talking about like thumbnails, and we were talking about thumbnails because we had a call and we were just talking about thumbnails. I was like, you have really good thumbnails. All right, I should step up my thumbnail game. So as you can see, it's also evolving. So my thumbnails now, a little bit more work. So that could be adding to the overall percentage wise in terms of so it's been up 0.7% in terms of my click-through rate. So I'll compare these side by side. So reach in September, 142,000 impressions, 6% click-through rate. October, 179,000, so what, 30,000 more impressions, good. Click-through rate, it's also better as well, 0.7% more. So it's going up and up and up, which is very exciting. So let's go through the regular overview. The regular overview in September, 12,000, I'm just going to round up because it's easier. 13,000 views, 831 watch hours, and 79. So 13,831, 79. 13,831, so 17 and a half, 4.5 more thousand subscribers, views. I'm sorry, I wish it was subscribers. Watch time, I think it was 838. So boom, that was 200 something more watch hours. Subscribers from 79 to 107. So it was just a really good month for me in terms of views, watch hours, and everything's, I don't know, just I feel like everything's falling into place. And this is my first. I'm excited to finish this month to see what I would actually make in terms of revenue for for a full month, right? And then let's go to top videos. So top videos, this is just straight views, I believe. This is not monetization. This is not, and I'll get into the monetization, like what each video makes. I'll actually pull that up right now. Boom, 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 boom. All right. While that loads. So with the channel analytics, in terms of just straight views, Garmin Forerunner 235, still a really good video. That video for me always crushes it, and it's just a good reminder that number one, review videos. If you can incorporate review videos into your repertoire of types of videos that you make, it's only going to help you. And I'm not a review channel, but it's something that I use, and I've done review videos in the past of like this toner TC 777 mic did not do well, but the reviews that I find that work well are, number one, obviously review, and then number two, it's like a niche review, right? So like with the Garmin Forerunner 235, there are reviews out there, but it's one of those items to where it's not like an iPhone review, because everyone's reviewing. Like iPhone is so popular that it's still going to help you if you did an iPhone review, to be honest, but it's not going to get, like, for me, in my opinion, the Garmin Forerunner 235, the review does so well because it's like a niche product, right? And it's kind of the same thing for, I'm excited to do a DJI Mavic Mini review. And to really do a review on this, even though I'm not a tech guy, and I'll give a non-tech review of, like, because I'm like a dummy when it comes to this kind of stuff. And luckily with the DJI Mavic Mini, it has with the shots that I've been taking, it's an auto setting. So I'm not doing that pullback and record by myself. It has an auto record and pullback setting. So I'm excited to do a review on this because this is also a niche product, and it's not like everyone is like, oh, like searching DJI Mavic. It's a high search, but it's not like oversaturated. So finding those types of videos, if you're a runner doing that kind of stuff, whatever it is that is like what your channel is about, if you can incorporate something that is like a really niche product, I think that review is going to do really well. Like another review that did well, actually, look right here, it's in front of me right here, the Fitbit Ionic. The Fitbit Ionic is doing really well. And then also, if you could go down a little bit more, my Nike Abilode Tailwind is doing well. That had 911 views. And like that video, and the Aonigi running vest review, that video constantly does well for me too. And it's like 417 views. I mean, it's over a month. Like I made that video in August of 2020. So like it's still getting me videos. It's getting me more views than my recent videos, right? And with the, and I will say this, for the review videos, if you can make them longer, if you can, obviously, like the longer the better, but if you can go in more detail while staying engaged, do it. Because with the Aonigi running vest and the Nike Abilode Tailwind, and this was before I was like, this was like one of my first review videos, so I didn't know to make it longer. But if I had to go back and redo it, I would make these a little bit longer, because with the Abilode Tailwind and the Aonigi running vest, they were only, I think, 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes each. But like if they were longer, like the Garmin Forerunner 235, that video was 11 minutes. It would help a lot with my watch time. And then also, if it's 10 minutes or more, you can put 2 ads in there. And reviews are one of those videos to where like people are gonna want to watch the whole video, because that's why they originally clicked on that video, is to watch that review on that product. So if I can go back and do it, I would try to make it a little bit longer. And at the same time, I'm not one to force it. So if it's not 10 minutes, no big deal. So, but if I can make it 10 minutes, I'm definitely going to make it 10 minutes. So that's why I've also been holding off on, I haven't done my Nike. So I recently got Nike React Milers. a new pair of that, and I did a like not unboxing of like, hey, this was my new pair of shoes, but I really want to do another first impressions video. Like first impressions round 2. So I actually haven't even used it yet. I've still been running in my Nike Peg 37s. So because I've been waiting so that I have time on the weekend, so that I can actually like film it, because during the week it's a little bit hectic for me in terms of having time like to film stuff, like heavily film stuff. I can do more of that heavy filming on the weekends, usually Saturday or Sunday. So that's why I leave my like Monday through Friday. Well, Wednesday is my live stream, and then Monday, Tuesday, Thursday is a miscellaneous. Tuesday is a Q&A. That's usually pretty quick to film. Monday's real estate. It could be a hit or miss on quick to film or not, because if I make a video on the weekend, then I can do what I did this week. Here's a property showing, and then Friday jiu-jitsu. With the jiu-jitsu videos, it's actually really easy for me because I just have to meet up with Coach B, the black belt, my professor, or Drea, and then they do all the talking, and then I put it together. But in terms of my and I'm this total tangent right now, and I just realized, but with those videos, I do more it's quick film videos, whereas like my Saturday and Sunday videos, my review videos, that's why I put them on Saturdays, because it could take a little bit longer to film. But with that being said, getting back to it, that's why I haven't worn my Nike Peg 37s, my Nike React Milers just yet. I'm waiting to do a first impressions round 2, and surprisingly with this one, number 10, my Nike React Miler first impressions, that one gets me a solid amount of views each month too. And with this one, I believe this vlog was like 8 to 10 minutes, but this was back when I was doing my vlogs. My first part was my vlog, and then of like what's going on. Part 2 was my Q&A, and then part 3 was whatever topic that I wanted to talk about. So it was all smashed in there, but now I've obviously, dissected it all and then made it each day is a different topic instead of doing Q&As every single day. So with that as well, so that's my rant over. And, just going back to the October analytics. So with my October analytics, I was monetized on October 22nd. So the 23rd was my official first day. With monetization as well, the money doesn't show up of like how much you made until 24 hours after. So it's kind of one of those things. It's like a live stream. Like your stats don't pull. They don't pull live. So they pull every 24 hours, and it updates every 24 hours. But that's the side note. But with that, if you see here, so I've been monetized for 8 days. With my last 48 hours, I have 1,136 views. Since I've been so on a normal week, if this was before I got monetized, my last 48 hours would be around 1,000 to 1,200. So it's roughly the same amount of views. So in the past 40, but so I look at this stat all the time too. So because sometimes it's like 1,300, 1,400, but usually it's around, on average, if it's less than 1,000, it's like that's low. But if it's 1,000 to 1,200 views in the last 48 hours for all of my videos, that's pretty good. If it's more than 1,200, I'm doing really good. So I thought that my overall views would take a dip, but it hasn't. It stayed the same. So keep this in mind. The number of overall views for the past 48 hours has stayed the same since I've been monetized, right? But I want to show you something. But with my recent videos, like if you look at this, and this was starting from yesterday and it goes back as I go down. So 57 views, 64 views, 78 views, 51 views, 138 views. That one, my jiu-jitsu videos usually get pretty good views. 79 views, 71 views, 68 views, 80 views, 68 views, 203 views. That's a jiu-jitsu video. Again, monetized. The first day I was monetized, 164. But if you look at so 164, that was the day that I got monetized. But before that, if you look at the views, 113, 102, 94, 143, Ignore that one because that is Jiu-Jitsu 103, 95, 126, 124, 106. Jiu-Jitsu again, 460, 106. But if you look at my non-Jiu-Jitsu videos, like usually I'm at, anywhere from, the high 90s, or like low 90s, 92, right? But it's usually like mid, like 100, around 100 to or more, right? 113, 102. So my overall views have dipped, right? From like my normal videos, but my past 48-hour views have roughly stayed the same. So where are those views coming from? I'm attributing that to the videos that YouTube is pushing out. So for me, it's getting back to these top 10 videos. Like YouTube I'm getting more and more views on these videos more than normal since I've been monetized. So that's just something to take into consideration. But now this is where it gets a little bit funky because, okay, what you would expect, like Garmin Forerunner 235, oh, awesome views. It's getting pushed out more. He's going to make a lot of money from this, right? I thought that too. But if you look at the channel monetization, okay, how do I look at revenue? Okay, there it is. All right, actually, let me pull it up. October. So I want to show you the breakdown of how much each video has made. So October, well, that's weird. Because October it said I made $14.78. Oh, no, yeah. Estimated revenue, $14.70, that's right. RPM, 85. And then playback CPM, 1184. So I'm not sure what all this means. RPM, playback CPM. I believe this is like the rate that they pay you for 1,000. The advertisement pays you. 1184 is mine. But I want to show you my top earning videos. So my top earning videos. All right. My top earning videos. So my top earning videos are not necessarily my videos that are doing like that are getting the most views, which is weird, right? Or people maybe just be skipping it. Cause look, like Garmin Forerunner 235, I would say every single day, the Garmin Forerunner 235 video is the best video for me overall, no matter what. But if you look at it here, like Garmin Forerunner 235, it's made me 48 cents. It's made me 48 cents compared to BJJ, the journey from white to blue, right? So so I made the BJJ journey from white to blue a long time ago as well. And I'm like, maybe it's just like the different niches, like, cause like BJJ versus Garmin Forerunner 235, Jiu-Jitsu versus running / fitness. Maybe that's it, but I don't know. I don't know why, right? Let's do this one. BJJ hobbyist competitor versus competitor. The one that I did with Drea. Okay. Not necessarily in my top 10 videos, but it is a video that did really well for me. And then it's also, I mean, obviously it might not be top 10 because this is for all of October, whereas I came out with that video in the middle of October. So it's not a good depiction of it. But just going back to this, right? So like, it seems like my BJJ videos, they do really well for me. You know? And then also my newer videos do well for me, right? So like, because I think this is what it's attributing to. So I'll give you an example with let's say this one, my new running shoes video. And this was 3 days ago. The views are lower, 78, but I made like a good chunk of revenue. I made 28 cents, right? So I think I'm making a little bit more money on these types of videos because obviously, like with more of my recent videos, like in the last like 10, like these videos right here, the last 7 to 10 days, I've been making a little bit more money on these videos just because my subscribers, you all on this live stream right now, and thank you for this. It's because you're watching my ads, and I think that's why whenever I come out with a new video, I'll usually make, anywhere from 30 to 50 cents the first day, right? It's because the initial people that are a bulk of these views is from my loyal subscribers, or the people that are really supporting me and like, okay, I'm actually gonna watch this ad, right? So and just going back to this, see, like I made this video, super 7 months of no alcohol. I made that this week or last week, whatever. But all of these videos, the ones that are like, even this one, my review of the U, it's actually pronounced U, it's not EU. I'm mistaken that. It's called U Natural Elite. I made 32 cents from that. And the cool thing is that, with these, it obviously stacks and stacks and stacks. But going back to my original point, weird, and I don't know why, and if someone knows, please let me know, is that my best video, aka my Garmin Forerunner 235 video, gets me the most views, gets me the most watch time, but is not necessarily my best. Like, it doesn't make me that much money compared to my other videos. And also look at this one, advice to BJJ white belts. My second best video also gets me a ton of views every single day. Where is that on this list? Advice to BJJ white belts, 31 cents. Like, what? Like, it gets me way more views than all the other ones, all the other videos daily, but I don't know why. So this could be it too. I made these videos before I got monetized. So is it because I made these videos before they got monetized? Is that why they're not making money now? But like, why would that matter? Like, because it doesn't make sense in my head, because why would they? Because it's ads either way, and it's just people watching the ads, right? So like for me, I'm thinking, if I get more views, doesn't it make sense that I should be making more money from that video? Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know, maybe. But there we go. Those are my YouTube analytics. I went a little heavy on the estimated revenue in terms of how much money that I'm making. But this is a little bit new to me in terms of learning how to read these analytics in terms of like RPM and in terms of what a CPM per whatever the dollar amount is. But that's it. So if you have any further questions about analytics, please let me know down in the comments. I'm going to go through the comments right now, and then I will answer the 4 questions that I have, interact a little bit more, then call it a day. Also, my girlfriend got me this blender bottle, and I love it. I mean, I obviously have blender bottles, but I lost my ball thing, and I couldn't find it. So when I was like drinking protein shakes, or when I would be drinking pre-workout, I'd be like, oh, it's a little chunky, like, and it's and then I was just complaining about it all the time, and then she got me a new blender bottle with a blender ball, so now I can actually shake up my drinks. And it's when you have one blender bottle, and caveat, like tangent here, I mean, when you have one blender bottle, like I think everyone should have at least 2 blender bottles minimum, because one blender bottle is for water, right? The other blender bottle is for whatever you're blending up. But when you blend that thing up, protein shake, pre-workout, whatever it is, the bottle tends to smell like the thing, and the stench doesn't go even if you wash it. Like if you wash it immediately, yeah, it'll pretty much go away 99%. But if you leave it like just sitting there, for the longer that it sits there, the longer that it takes to get the stench away. So That was also an annoyance of mine, is because sometimes on accident I wouldn't wash the bottle right away, and then I had pre-workout, and then so when I'm filling the one water bottle up and I'm drinking it at night, I'm like, it tastes like pre-workout, but I'm trying to go to sleep right now, or it tastes like it kind of smells like not just water. It just smells weird, so but yeah, that's my thoughts on blender bottles and why you should have two. Cool. All right. So I'm going to pop this back up. And then I'm going to go to the chat box. It is very lively in this chat box. I love it. Okay, there's a lot of activity, which is good. I love it. Second, okay, I'm going to start here. Zach from Achilles Financial. Second name, the Grant Cardone one. Yeah, Grant Cardone is the man. He is also one of those characters. It's not a character. I think it's just him. But he's for some people and he's not for some people. But he's definitely for me. I like his, if you want to go get it attitude. And that's the people that I vibe with. Is him and like a Gary Vee or a Jocko Willink. Or so Gary Vee, Jocko, Grant Cardone, and David Goggins. Those would be my big four. The big four. And if I had to rate them, that's a fun question. If I had to rate them, I would say Gary Vee number one. I don't know. Yeah, Gary Vee number one. I would say Gary Vee number one. Gary Vee number one. And then David Goggins number two, but it's a very close 1 and 2. Grant Cardone and then Jocko. I actually met Jocko, believe it or not. I was at a book signing, and it was the Dichotomy of Leadership book signing, and I took a picture with him. So I thought that was cool. I actually should put that up sometime because I met Jocko for like 5 seconds. I shook his hand. I was like, oh yeah, he's like super strong. I was like, all right, cool. I met Jocko. But yeah, if I had to rate my YouTube or like people that I don't actually know role models, those would be the 4. All right. I only subscribe. I think I already read that. Okay, true story. It's quality over quantity any day of the week. Yeah, I think it's, for me, I'm definitely a quantity guy. For better or for worse, because I think for me, especially when I first started this YouTube journey, I don't have the quality yet. So if I go quantity, then it's going to speed up my quality, and it's helped. And for me, it's taking that step back of okay, because usually it'll hit me in spurts of like 2 to 3 months at a time. Like it usually takes that long of like for example my thumbnails, I should have better thumbnails. I was like, why don't I have better thumbnails? And then I was like, all right, I know I should have better thumbnails. And then it took me like 3 months. I'm like, all right, I'm going to commit to thumbnails now. I'm like, why did I wait so long to commit to thumbnails? But yeah, but also it's also my style of I don't like to heavily edit because I just don't have time. So it's like speed. I'm trying to balance speed, quantity, and quality. So, but my quality definitely lacking of the 2, quantity or quality. Apparently, I already read that. What an absolute legend of a man. So much. And yeah, it's Mitch doing the commenting. Yeah, thanks, Mitch. Yeah. I was sorry, I said that kind of loud. I felt like I yelled that, like, thanks, Mitch. El Shell Steven, thanks for coming, buddy. One question, what are your current fails or self-doubts you're currently dealing with or fears you're trying to overcome? Okay, good question. Actually, I think you asked this question, but I was trying to look for it the other day, but I might have deleted it because I usually screenshot my questions and I'll answer it in my like Q&As. But I'll answer it now. And I'll repeat that question. So Fitzgerald Brown, what are your current fails or self-doubts you're currently dealing with or fears you're trying to overcome? So I have a big fear of failing. I think failure is my biggest fear. That and heights and spiders. I don't like spiders and I don't like heights. But heights, I mean, spiders, it's gotten better over time. Like I can actually smush a spider down, and I have to kill every spider I see, or I feel that they're going to come back and kill me later. So sorry if there are any spider lovers out here. I have to kill every spider that I see. But getting back to, seriously, I am afraid of failure. And I think it's just deep down, and that's why I work so hard, is that I'm afraid of not living up to my potential. And my idea of what it means to succeed largely comes from how I was raised and my family background. And here is the thing, though, is that my parents, not that it doesn't matter that I succeed or not. They want to see me succeed, obviously. But, if I don't like make millions and billions of dollars and I live a happy life, they're okay with that. They're fine with that. They support me either way. But for me, like, I want to live up to not only their expectations, but my expectations. I have expectations for my life to have an extraordinary life and to have extraordinary goals. And there's a lot that I want to achieve in my life. And to not live up to my potential and to fail at that is one of my biggest fears. That's why I am so grind all the time, because I can sleep when I'm dead. And that's my way of looking at it. And this is just for myself. This isn't for anyone else. This is my mindset for myself. And to paint you all a little bit better of a picture, why I have this mentality and why I have these goals of like why is it so important to you to not fail, and what type of life do you want to live? Well, my parents came from Vietnam. They were living off welfare, growing up. Right? They were literally the rags to riches story. And my dad's side of the family, they grew literally, like, they were living off food stamps. And now, fast forward 30 years, there's my dad, very successful. They, making eat like a lot of money. And I know money isn't the end all be all. It's not that, it's not the most important thing in the world, but it also, like, I grew up from growing up on a chicken farm and not having, like, I saw the things, and it was a morphing, right? Because when I was younger, we didn't have like we had like not like super nice stuff, but over the years, as I grew up to the high school, then they started making more and more money and being more successful. And then now that's what I want, because I want to be able to achieve what my dad achieved. And he had no formal education. He was literally the rags to riches story. He did it from sheer hard work, and he's making a lot of money per year. And for me, I saw how money it's not money itself. It's the freedom that money provides. So I want to give my kids what my dad gave me, at least the bare minimum. That's the bare minimum. If I give my kids what my dad gave me and my brothers, then that's my goal, right? And obviously to even surpass that. And that's why I have my mindset. And again, my parents aren't like, you must or else you dishonor our family. It's not like that. It's more like, I realize that, like, what my dad created for me and my family and my brothers, that's what I want to create for my family. And yeah, that's just where my mindset comes from. And again, this is all for me, and this is why I'm so like grind mode, because today's the youngest that I'll ever be. It's a fact. I mean, right? So I don't have, I have cats, I have a girlfriend, but I don't have kids yet. I can work my face off. Like I'm not afraid of hard work, but I also gotta, if I talk the talk, I gotta walk the walk. But going back to your question, Fitz, one of my biggest fears, and in terms of like current fails or self-doubts, in terms of how I view failure, I don't view failure as failure. I view failure as it's the next step towards achieving my goals, right? Because it's that whole thing of, Thomas Edison, right? Like, it took me 1,000 tries to invent a light bulb, right? So he failed 999 times. But it's just part of the learning process of achieving your goals. It's fail forward, right? So when I fail, I'm like, yeah, I'm not excited to fail, Okay, that's a lie. I am excited to fail, because when I fail, I'm like, okay, I'm one step closer, and if I keep putting in the work, I'm gonna get better and better and better. So I've always been the mindset of failure is just part of the process, and if you fail, you should smile about it. If you're in an uncomfortable situation, you should smile about it. You're failing forward. But the caveat here is that you have to adjust. You can't just keep failing and keep doing the same thing over and over and over. You have to adjust as you go. So that's my thoughts on, failing and what failing means to me. It's just I just one step closer. Right. All right. Wonder Pet, are we going on AdSense as well? I asked because I did a 35 video, minute video. So with AdSense as well, so they are sending me a pin through the mail so that I can confirm my AdSense. I think they're sending it to me to my address, a physical pin. So I signed up for AdSense. I'm all, like, everything is good to go with them, though I'm just waiting for that pin to come in. So I don't know what that's all about. I believe that's just to confirm that it's me. So, did anyone else notice reviews drop in the last couple of days? Think the election has taken a full attention? Aaron from FitLab. So he asked that. So I've also noticed not necessarily the last couple of days, but just in the last, I would say, like, month compared to, April, May, June, July. And I think that's largely due to a few different reasons. I think I attribute, and this is all anecdotal and what I think. I think it's actually from, in my opinion, from just people getting back to work, people not being, because when COVID and shelter in place first started, it was, we're inside, we don't know what to do, because we're now learning, what can we do? Should we go to work? Should we not go to work? Should we go outside? Should we not go outside? And then so people were just inside, just being like more cautious, because they were still waiting for the guidelines. And that's why, like, I had like a lot of views in those early months of shelter in place because of that. And then now with people, now that we've kind of know a little bit more of, like, okay, I can actually go outside. I actually, things are opening up. I can go to the gym. I could go to a restaurant. People aren't spending as much time on their phones anymore. So that's what I think. Using my athletics. Cool. Cash Money. Thanks for the sub, Jess. I've been getting consistent views every day, and it died yesterday. Yeah, I mean, probably the elections had a lot to do with it. I published my video, and for the first 15 minutes, I had like 2 views, and usually that's not the case. So I think it's definitely for the first 30 minutes, I had 4 views, which is a little bit low for me usually. And I publish it usually at the same time, so around 7 p.m. And it was a little low, so probably the elections had to do with the views. Also noticing weekdays get much better views than weekends, which used to be opposite in the spring and summer. Yeah, I totally agree. I've noticed that too, Aaron, it's because some weekends I'm like, I'm doing really good. I'm at like 1,500 views or 1,800 views for the past 40 hours. And then now it's like, it's just 1,000 to 1,200, just like any normal month. I mean, normal 48 hours. 4.5k subs in a month. I wish. Hatch Life says, really appreciate these kind words of his videos. As someone who has watched your channel grow so quick, and also as aspirations to reach 1,000 subscribers one day, these videos are super helpful. Big cheers, mate. Thanks, Mitch. I really appreciate it. Mitch from Hatch Life. And Mitch is actually one of my early. I think this was like me at 250 subscribers. We connected early on, and so him and his girlfriend do a travel channel. So they're currently in, I believe, South Korea right now. So go check them out. I'm a big fan of how they do their vlogs, and also makes me miss South Korea a ton. I believe they're in South Korea. Love seeing all the details. Thank you. Definitely interesting to see the metrics and details. I'm about to hit 500 subs, and we'll start growing faster again as soon as I start releasing my videos. Yeah, Aaron, every time you release a video, you always get like a huge spike. So definitely key. Thanks for sharing these details. You're welcome, Jen. It's cool to look at your stuff and compare it to my own to see what's working and what's not. Yeah, I think you just have to find that right balance that works for you. And I will say this. I think the way that I approach YouTube is not optimal. Like, it's not optimal in growing my channel. It's not optimal in making money. I just like doing it my way because I want to talk about all the things I want to talk about. I don't want to not talk about things. And for me, this is just a lot of fun, right? I'm treating this more as like a one-stop shop of like, okay, I'm just gonna, do everything YouTube's gonna go on this channel. Real estate, ultra running. I don't want to make separate channels for separate things, and that could be to my detriment. It probably is to my detriment, to be honest with you, and it's probably not growing as much as I could be. But it is what it is, and for me, this is just like a good outlet for me. So it might change in the future of like, okay, I might niche down, but for the time being, I like the schedule because I feel that, like if I was coming into view a channel, like if, this guy's, he's a grinder, even though I'll subscribe to him and I'll watch what videos I like, I won't watch the videos that I don't like. So if I don't like the jiu-jitsu, I'm not going to watch his jiu-jitsu videos, but I like his small YouTube videos and I like his ultra rank videos. So I'll watch those. So it's like a pick and choose, and that's the way I like to treat it. Cause, I want people to subscribe to me because they are genuinely interested in the person I am. Right. I mean, with all of you in the live chat right now that have been interacting with me, I feel that, we're friends, even, we've never met in person. I feel like we're friends and we have some bit of a connection. So if I can have that, but multiplied into, whoever subscribes to me, that's what I want. I want to have a real connection. And, again, this is my outlook on it right now, but it might change and I might niche down. But for the time being, it is what it is. Coach Kev, good to see you. I skipped this. Jess said, Jashim's iPhone review went nuts. He has like 7,000. Oh, yeah. So I totally lied. So earlier I said that iPhone videos are oversaturated, but I guess it's not because it also depends on the timing too. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. So he did an iPhone 12 review from a professional photographer's perspective. So, yeah, that's also kind of like niche down too. But honestly, review videos, I mean, it's one video, so if anything, just do them. Like, it doesn't matter if it's going to be, if like it's the toner mic review video that I made, did not do very well. But hey, I still did it, and it's potential, and you never know when those videos could pick up. Because the good thing about YouTube is that it's a history book, it's a library. Once you make a video, it's going to be up here unless you take it down. So you never know when videos are going to blow up, and that's exactly what happened with my jiu-jitsu videos. They started blowing up out of nowhere. Coach Kev, good to see you. You get so dark so early now. Yeah, totally agree. I have one video that's at about 1,100 views. Nice, Aaron. Which one? Transformation. Cool. Bala, Goku Runner. Jeremy, good to see you. making that $1.50 a day. Yes, CPM is per 1,000 views. Yeah. I should be a better YouTuber and actually know like more YouTube stuff because I was like, I don't know what CPM means. I don't know what all that means, but I should probably look into that. Vince, it depends on who wants to put the ad on how much they are willing to pay. Yeah, so that makes sense then in terms of why my Garmin Forerunner 235 video, maybe that's why it's not doing too well because even though it's getting me a lot of views, people don't want to put an ad in that video or the ad is less CPM. Does that even make any sense? But you know what I mean. RPM, rate per mile. That makes sense. 1,000. Watch time is the most important number. Revenue per mile. All right. Then is CTR. Yep. So Goku Runner asks, hey Vince, are you going to start posting YouTube shorts? I don't know if I want to post YouTube shorts. I mean, I feel, okay, the reason why I haven't been posting YouTube shorts is I feel that if I start posting YouTube shorts, that'll be an out for me to post an actual video. I'm like, oh, because my thing is I'm going to come out with one video a day. And if I post YouTube shorts, I'm like, all right, I came out with one video a day. I don't have to do the video for today. And then so it's like, I don't know. Like, do I really want to do that? Or am I missing out by not starting it sooner? All right, I'm going to write this down. YouTube shorts. All right. YouTube shorts. Or maybe like one short a day. Is that too much? Maybe. I mean, it's a short, right? It's like less than a minute. So maybe one short a day plus a video. Boom! You've inspired me. Okay, Goku Runner. I'll experiment with the shorts. But also, like, but then, okay, now that I'm thinking about it, will the shorts mess with or like the video that it's like, because then your video is going to compete. I don't know. Or maybe I could just post a short and then post a video so that my video gets more like traction or more exposure, so it's not competing, because the short, I mean, it's a short, right? So it's a good idea. Jackie, what's going on? Good to see you, my friend. It's been a long time. I need to figure out this YouTube shorts thing. Me too. All right. I just need to figure out. All right. Any thoughts are in, just need to figure out how to use them properly and what kind of short. Yeah, advice on that. I believe you're asking Goku Runner. I have absolutely no idea because I don't know how to do the shorts yet. But I believe, that's what they're saying, is that their YouTube is pushing out the shorts. Basically, it's TikTok on YouTube. I think it's for tutorial videos, which work well. They just have to be vertical format in less than a minute. Yeah, I believe it's meant to share on your phone. Like, shoot it from your phone and then, like, so that, people can watch from their phone. That's why it should be vertical, but also I'm not 100% sure. Repurpose. Yep. Yeah, so Wonder Pet says, yeah, for fitness channel similar to Instagram stories, but ideally, okay, you guys are talking to each other. It's hard to filter these of who's talking to me and who's talking to who. Tips and tricks on how to keep the proper form of ETC, etc. Do YouTube shorts stay on the platform long term like a normal video, or do they disappear? So Aaron asked, do YouTube shorts stay on the platform long term like a video, or do they disappear after a certain amount of time like an Instagram story? I have absolutely no idea, but I believe you guys are communicating in the comment section. All right, so I'm gonna breeze past through this. Wonder how shorts affect your overall watch time for your channel, and also if they contribute the same to your view counts and other metrics. Assume you still need to do SEO. A lot of good questions that I have no idea about because I haven't done shorts. All right, Optopolis, good to see you, my friend. I see myself already have done a couple playing around with them. Shorts are the opposite. You can do SEO, but in search, shorts will appear as shorts as they will just appear as regular videos. I am a spider guy. I don't want them on me 90% of them, but I don't want to kill them. Yeah, I wish I didn't have the fear of not killing them, but if I don't kill a spider, I feel like it's going to come and crawl into my mouth as I sleep, because that's what they do apparently, is that we eat like an X number of spiders every single year. I think like 5 to 10 a year. So I feel like if I don't kill a spider, it's going to come and kill me. I need to really smush it. And I really need to see that it's dead. If I can't find it, I'm like, sometimes I'll smash it with a shoe and I'm like, where'd it go? Because where's the body, And I'm freaking out because I don't know where the body is. Stories or shorts. All right. Some of my info is coming through vidIQ. Yep. So glad to be on here. Live stream. Young, good to see you, my friend. Maxine, my cousin. Thank you. Thank you for coming, Maxine. Thanks for the support. All right. Shorts. All right. Shorts, and more shorts. Okay, Adam, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you. Mitch says, something we just have decided to try is trend surfing. We have a similar approach to you, just making videos we find fun to make and give our random Australian perspective to things. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think to like thinking about YouTube and how to make better content, I also think that like whatever's trending is great, but also redoing a video that someone else made, right? So if you like for and this is to be completely honest, like with the DJI Mavic Mini, like when I make this video, I'm gonna search other videos first to see what they say and be like, because I'm not a tech guy, I don't really know how to talk about this kind of stuff, but I'm gonna look at what they say, and then once I look at what they say, I'm gonna try that out, and then I'm going to basically not like repeat, but putting my own spin on it. So that's something that I really want to do, is to look at someone's video. If they have a good video, you can always remake their video and then give it your own spin. And then you can always use the same statistics as they do, or even use their like whatever like point that they're making, just put it in your own words. Like, I think that's okay. However, we thought we would try trending videos, and this is actually currently our best ranked video for the amount it has. Maybe others may have find it lucky. Yeah, nice. Our best video is still super rookie. Hey man, 5 to 10 a year. Yeah, spiders. You eat 5 to 10 spiders a year. Crazy. I'm gonna kill them all now. Yeah, that's funny, Jeremy. Brad from my BS Life. Good to see you. CPM. So Mark, good to see you. CPM is very important. RPM is very accurate to what you make on 1,000. So, gotcha. Wait, what are shorts? All right, I'm not gonna go into that because I'm not too familiar with. Shorts are just like a short 1 minute clip. It's supposed to be filmed vertically, but supposedly YouTube is pushing that out right now. And here we go. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, just go back and read the comments. Sorry, FitRush, but they just had like this whole. It took me like 10 minutes to get through what shorts were. Trending stuff is great. I think it's a good strategy to build off on YouTube. I think it's a good strategy to build off what is already on YouTube. Yeah, same. I think that's a good idea. And you just put your own spin on it. We'll give you a different perspective to be more educated on the topic. Yeah, I agree. They are pants but shorter. Yeah. I don't know why that's making me laugh. They are pants but shorter. Sorry, that was really funny. You are a comedian, Jeremy. All right. So now that I'm caught up with the shorts talk and the live chat, I have 4 questions. I actually need to end in 13 minutes because my girlfriend works out at 7, and I'll tell her I'll be done by 7 p.m. each time. So, all right, first question from Jeff. I have a Fitbit Inspire HR at the moment, and I'm looking to upgrade to a newer Fitbit or the Samsung Galaxy Active 1 or Active 2. I do a lot of sports and activity, especially football. Which ones should I go for, please? So if you're asking me if you should get a Fitbit or not, I would not recommend a Fitbit. I think, I don't know, I'm like a half and half because I had an okay experience with Fitbits. I think it's a great general watch. If you're going to the gym, it's a good general, and this is the Fitbit Ionic. The Fitbit Ionic is a good general watch. Like it's a little bit laggy at times, but it does everything. I like the look of it. The charge in terms of the battery life, yeah, it's pretty good. It's waterproof. I can swim with it, but as a specific activity tracker, not necessarily the best watch in terms of the Fitbit Ionic. When I was running, the GPS off all the time. I believe the heart rate monitor was fine. So I'm just a little hesitant to recommend the Fitbit in terms of like sports specific activity, in terms of swimming, because I don't know how it does in swimming, because it didn't do that well in running. If I'm gonna get the Fitbit Ionic is more of a hybrid between a smartwatch and a fitness watch, and it's not the best fitness watch. It's not the worst, but it's not the best smartwatch, but it's not necessarily the worst either. Actually, I don't know if it's the worst because I've never owned another like a real smartwatch with this Garmin Forerunner 235. It's definitely a runner's watch. I mean, it connects to my phone, But I mean, I'm not using this to text or anything like smart related, right? So I don't have experience on the Samsung Galaxy Actives or Active Ones. Honestly, my biggest piece of advice would just be to go YouTube it. But I mean, I'll say this: I would never buy another Fitbit ever again, and that's coming from a runner's perspective. Again, the Fitbit Ionic is a decent watch, but coming from a runner, the GPS not working, no, I can't have that. That's definitely a no for me. And also the Fitbit Ionic, it's very durable. So I really like that, the durability, but I know with the band ones, like there's constantly complaints. And I've never met one person that either didn't have a complaint about the band Fitbits and or if they've never had to replace it. So they either had to replace it or they have a complaint. So it's up to you, but I would, you get what you pay for. Samsung Galaxy, like, are they like a fitness brand, like brand watch? Like, I don't know. They're probably good for a smartwatch, but if you're looking for activity specific, I would go with even the Garmin's are really good because they're made for runners, they're made for triathletes. Or Koros, or like one of those like runner triathlon brands, I feel would be better suited. I don't know. All right, next question. Kevin E asks, "You're a natural interview man," and I believe this was in reference to a interview that I had with Drea for jiu-jitsu. So this is a jiu-jitsu question. You got to have some people on your live stream too. Yeah, that's definitely, I should have that. Dang, thinking that 1 to 2 times a week doesn't feel enough for you is crazy. So that's jiu-jitsu. Do you think your learning curve was a lot harder, or were you just trying to get better much faster than others? With jiu-jitsu, it's one of those things is to where it's like a language. It is a language, I would say, in my opinion. And jiu-jitsu is, like, imagine you trying to learn another language. If you go to class 1 time a week or 2 times a week, that's better than going none. But if you're not constantly practicing what you learned, week by week, you can come back a week later and you're like, I have absolutely no idea. And I'm basically learning all over again. So with jiu-jitsu, because you're going to class, you're learning this technique, but you might not use that technique for like, you might not even use it that day because when you're rolling, you're sparring, and when you're sparring, it's not like you're especially when you're first starting out, like, yes, if what you learned pops up, like, yeah, you're going to try to do that move, but it's not going to, like, in a real life roll or spar, it's a free for all. You're not doing just that specific move unless you're drilling it. But when you're sparring, that move that you learned, you might not use it until like for a couple days. But the more that you come to jiu-jitsu, the more techniques that you're going to learn. But when you're rolling or sparring, you're doing 3 5-minute rounds a day. That's, let's say, 15 5-minute rounds per week. If you go 5 days a week, that's 15 5-minute rounds. Like, a lot can happen in those minutes in terms of what position that you could be in, and then you can use the move. Whereas if you show up once a week, you only get to roll 3 5-minute rounds. And as I said, like, what if that move doesn't come, you learn to move, but it's not going to come because, like, you're not in that position. So for me, I think the sweet spot for me, if I go 1 to 2 days a week, it's kind of like a wash. It's not a wash, but it's like one. If you go once a week, it's a wash. Like, you're basically having to relearn everything over and over, and it feels like you're starting anew each week. And with that as well, I think if you're going like once a week, you're basically just going there to roll. Right, that's how I view it. And 2 times a week is better than 1. But I think the sweet spot for me is 4. 4 days a week, I feel like I can keep. Anything more than that is like definitely extra. But 4 is my minimum of what I'm learning and what I can implement. Because it's one of those things. It's like language, as I said. You have to learn and implement as you go. Use it as you go. Cool. All right, next question. The FitRush, he says, great review. Does it affect sleep? So in regards to, I did a review on the caffeine, the U. So it's spelled EU, the U Elite. It's a caffeine and L-theanine pill. And I don't have issues, personally, I don't have issues with caffeine affecting my sleep. I never have, and I can drink a cup of coffee and I'll be fine. If I drink pre-workout before, because that's a lot of caffeine, but if I have like a cup of coffee 3 hours before bed, I'm fine. So I also don't take the pill, like the capsule. I don't take it. I take it midday. If I were to take it, I don't take it right before I go to bed or to work out. Because I mean, if any caffeine that I have, it's always before 3 p.m. I always try to make it before 3 p.m. 3 p.m. is even pushing a little bit. I don't like, it after 3 p.m. because I like in the morning when I wake up around 6:30 a.m. and then afternoon pick me up around 12 or 1. That's when I usually like to have my caffeine. So does it affect my sleep? No, but if you're sensitive to caffeine, it might. All right. Last question. Michael Makes Films asks, I found your channel. Cool. Thanks, Michael. I found your channel through the Garmin Forerunner 235 review. Would love to see more running videos. Any plans on an ultra in the near future? Yes, I am officially running a 50 miler on November 14th. So that is 2 Saturdays from now. I'm running a 50 miler, and my goal, actually, I'll probably just go, I guess I'll just say now, whatever, because I was going to make a video on it. My goal is to get just faster than what I ran last time. So last year I did it in September, and I ran my 50 miler in 10 hours and 52 minutes. So anything under 10 hours and 52 minutes, I'd be super happy. If I can get under 10 hours, that's what I'm really shooting for. That's my that's what I want, but I'd be happy with anything under 10 hours and 52 minutes. And I'm also running a 100 miler in December, mid-December. Let me check the date right now. December 19th, 100 miler going down. So if everything goes well with my knee has gotten like 99% better. And I actually lied earlier when I said it didn't bother me at all. It bothers me a little bit after like I do like a long run. So after I did like the 13 mile the other day, it was like a little bit stiff, but not too bad. And then also I ran 6 miles on Monday, and then so like yesterday and a little bit today, I'm feeling it a little bit. So I totally lied. I don't know why I said that, but my knees, for the most part, it does feel better. And I'm hoping, once I run in my new Nike Rack Milers, then I'll feel a lot better, and it'll pretty much go away. So cool. And that is it in terms of the questions that I had planned. I'll go through the chat one more time, and then we'll call it a day. Okay, I'm going back to the shorts. They're like pants but shorter. Okay, I can't laugh too hard because I'll be here forever. Shorts are being collected yet for the watch time, I've been told. Shorts aren't being collected for watch time, as I've been told. I'm dead, dude. Fitbit, I feel it is amazing sleep analysis. I never used Fitbit for the sleep analysis, just because with the Fitbit Ionic, it said that it could blow up on your wrist. So I was like, I'm not gonna wear that. But I also didn't have an issue with it overheating on me either. So. As compared to the Garmin Apple, I feel awake when watch sleep analysis is horrible. Yeah, I don't wear my watch for sleep analysis, to be honest. So I don't even measure that. I get up at night about 5 to 6 times to go to the restroom. I don't know why. I've just always had that. It's probably because I drink water before I sleep, but I don't like to be thirsty when I'm sleeping. So it's kind of like a catch-22. This is a good break from checking the election results. Yeah, I've been doing that all day, Drew. I feel yeah. It's been insane. The elections has been insane, super close. I'm glad I jumped in here. Everything in the last couple of minutes have made me good laugh. Yeah, I needed that too. Gosh, with the most things, persistent is totally key. Got to keep practicing. Yep, totally agree. All right, cool. With that being said, I appreciate you all for taking the time to hang out with me. It was really, really fun. These live streams are always fun. They're never not fun. If you haven't done it already, if you can do me a favor and like this live stream, it would really help me out. Other than that, let me know if you have any questions. Let me know down if you can actually comment on the video when it actually comes out, because with the live stream, I don't like go back and check the live streams after. But if you have any questions, comment down below. more than happy to answer to the best of my abilities. With that being said, have a good rest of your night, everyone. Peace, peace, peace.